Number 6, line 1 contains 10, 2 and 13, 9. Line 2 contains the points 1, -9, and -13, -15. Are the lines parallel, perpendicular, or neither? You need to remember if they're parallel, they have the same slope. If they're perpendicular, they have the opposite reciprocal slopes. So what that means is they have opposite signs. One's going to be positive, one's going to be negative, and they're the flips of each other. If neither of those are the case, then your answer would be neither. So let's find the slope of the first point. 10, 2 and 13, 9. So just like in the last review, you do y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. 9 minus 2 is 7. 13 minus 10 is 3. Let's go ahead and find the slope of the second line. So y2 minus, be careful, remember the minus and it's a negative, over x2 minus x1. Up top, I end up with a -6. On the bottom, I get -14. You have to reduce this. A negative divided by a negative is a positive, and 6 over 4 reduces to 3 over 7. When I look at these, they're the flip of each other, but they don't have opposite signs. So it's not perpendicular. They're not the same, so it's not parallel. So in this case, it's neither. I am going to go to the next slide. Please hit pause if you need to write this down. Graph each of the following. We're actually going to start with number 8, and then we're going to move on to number 7. Let me make these a little bit larger. So for number 8, this is in y equals mx plus b form. B is your y-intercept. Okay. M is your slope. This is, and here's something else I like to think of when I look at these. You begin with B. Oops, sorry. I'm going to run out of room. Let me do this the other way. You begin with B. And you move with M. So in our case, my B value is 4. Okay, I begin on the y-intercept at 4. I move, according to my slope, what my M value is, -5. Now when you think of slope, hopefully you think of rise over run. So I have my rise. I can make anything a fraction by putting it over 1. So what this tells me to do is from my B value, where I began, move -5 in the rise direction. Rise is up or down, so negative is going to go down. Oops. Let's move that back where it belongs. So I'm going to go down 5, and then a run of a +1. So there you can see where the other point will be. It does not like when I draw points, but we're going to try it. So I've got these 2 points, and I would simply draw my line through that. Now, let's look back at number 7. Number 7 is a little bit different because it doesn't have an X and a Y. Okay? When it has only an X or only a Y, it's going to be one of two things, a horizontal or vertical line. Now, I used to get these confused, but here's how I look at it. When it's only Y, what it's telling you, it's going to cross the Y-axis. Where? At -3. So it crosses here, which means the line is going to be horizontal. Okay, for example, let me give you one more just in case you're confused. If it was x equals 2, there's not a y and an x, so the mx plus b thing will not work. It's telling you it crosses the x-axis at 2, and I told you it crosses it. It shouldn't lay on top of it. It should cross it, so that would be x equals 2. Okay, pause if you need to write this down. I am moving on. Number 8. So let me make this smaller so we can see it. Or number 9, excuse me. Find the x and y intercepts of the graph. So the x and y intercepts is where your graph crosses the x-intercept and the y-intercept. Now think about this. I'm just going to draw random x-intercepts on here. No matter which point I pick, these are all x-intercepts. Notice the y value is 0 because I never move up or down. So for the x-intercept, let y equal 0. Now if I think of the y-intercept, that's where my graph crosses the y-axis. So I'm just drawing random y-intercepts. All of these have different y values, but they never move any left or right. So for the y-intercept, you let x equal 0. Okay, so let's find out exactly where our intercepts are. So all I'm going to do for the x-intercept is let y be 0. So I get 6x plus 2 times 0 equals negative 18. 2 times 0 is 0. I don't even have to write plus 0 because it doesn't do anything to add 0. When I divide through by 6, x equals negative 3. So it's telling me the x-intercept is negative 3. And what did we let? We let y be 0 and x was negative 3. So I can plot that point, negative 3, 0. Okay, I'm going to pause that. Okay, so let's find the y-intercept. This time we're going to let x be 0. So I get 6 times 0 plus 2y equals negative 18. 6 times 0 is 0. Remember, adding 0 does nothing. That portion kind of goes away. So 2y is negative 18. I divide through by 2, and y is negative 9. So I have the point 0, comma, negative 9. Okay, why is this important? Because once I have 2 points, I can form a line. And this is a nice, easy way to graph. You could have graphed number 8 like that as well. Okay, I am going to move this up so we have plenty of room. Again, pause it if you need to write this down. Okay, so